When our WordPress plugin is activated or deactivated, we often need to run certain tasks automatically. For example, we may need to register custom post types, create database tables, or flush rewrite rules. If you remember, in earlier videos, we discussed and we followed the tutorial and we checked once we activated the plugin and we tried to view the portfolio detail page, we were having some issues like we were facing a 404 page. In that case, we needed to flush our rewrite rules. This is an example from our current plugin. But let's say we have to create few database tables or we have to run certain other tasks based on the activation of the plugin. All right. In such situations, activation hooks come into place. So in this video, I'll show you how these hooks work and how to implement them properly in a plugin. So without wasting any of our time, let's quickly jump into the development. All right. So here is our code so far. We have completed our short code, and we also in the last video we checked security, which we will be utilizing in our next video, where we will be actually implementing our settings and settings page. All right. So now we have to play with the activation hooks, and we will also be learning deactivation hooks. So we will be just landing or going towards our main plugin file. So let me just, I think it's all right. So it's readable. So here is current status of our file. In our portfolio plugin series, we already created our plugin and registered custom post type. But if we activate the plugin and visit a portfolio URL, sometimes we may get a 404 error. All right, we already have seen that. This happens because WordPress rewrite rules are not refreshed automatically. Whenever we are registering a post type, we have to manually or automatically refresh our permalinks. All right. So how to do that automatically? Because once we are activating our plugin and then we have to manually go and check each time to flush these permalinks, that's not a good way. So what is the easiest and best way? The best way is we will be using activation hook. So how to do that? Let's start with the activation hook. All right. The activation hook runs only once at the moment when the plugin is activated. This is useful when our plugin needs to perform setup tasks, for example, registering custom post types, creating database tables, setting default options, or flushing rewrites rules. All right. So in our case, as we have to flush rewrite rules, so why not to write our code to make sure we are doing things properly. All right, so let's jump into the code and let's say we write some, for example, let me copy this comment and I can simply paste it and we can say it plugin activation, because we will be playing with the plugin activation hook first. So we can simply create a function, we can name it anything we want. So we can say it like uh, portfolio, and then we can save it like activate or activation, whatever we want to do. All right, so now what we will be actually doing here, we will be simply calling a WordPress function which is flush rewrite rules. That's all. Okay, so if we run this code, it will be working for us. But rather than calling it directly, as you know, in our class which is loading above, which we can simply see here, we have in this class we have already registered our custom post type and custom taxonomy. So if we run rewrite rules this way directly, it may can lead to errors. The reason is that we are calling these class again like this. So why not to simply, we can simply create our, like our, we can create an object of our class once again from here. All right, so we can say something like we can say it plugin, because once we are inside our main rewrite rules, so in our main activation hook, obviously it's activation of our plugin, so we can say it plugin or whatever we want to see it. That's not a big deal. So what was the name of our class? It was WP underscore creative underscore portfolio. All right. So we can simply run this class, and then we can register our custom post type and also our taxonomy before flushing. Why we are doing that and how we will be doing? If you remember our code, what we did, we simply created our methods. All right. So now once we are creating, we can simply check our functions like register post portfolio, custom post type, and register portfolio taxonomy. All right. So what's next? We can simply call plugin, and we can call our class register portfolio. The name of our method was CPT. All right. So in very same fashion, we can also call our other method, whatever that is. Like in this case, if we go and check for our, this was the name of our taxonomy, so we can copy it. All right. This way we can simply create our activation hook. All right. So any posts we are creating, we have to simply first make sure our post is registered, and then we can call our flush rewrite rules. But if in our case, if you check the code, we are simply calling our construct. So whenever an object is created, that construct will be called and our posts will be run. So we can simply comment it. All right. So that's how we will be flushing our rewrite rules in our plugin activation. In same fashion, let's say whenever we have to remove anything, for example, we have to remove anything once our plugin is being deactivated or deleted. So what to do then? Then comes deactivation hook. All right. So it's very same, in very same fashion, we can simply create an other method, and we can say it like, we can say it something like plugin deactivation. All right. Then we can simply create an other function, call it WP creative portfolio, and then deactivate. All right. We can create any function name. So I am just going with the activate and deactivate, so it sounds like a same name. All right. So what we will be doing there? Oh, okay. So let me just, I made a mistake. Let me just correct it, because if you check, we have created our function, but we didn't injected our register activation hook, because if you check, this is just a function. It will not be working, as it will not be doing anything. All right. So what to do? We have to bind it with our register activation hook. All right. So we can simply call it file, because it is present in the file, and then we can simply call our callback portfolio function, whatever the name of our callback function, which is here, in this case is coming from here. All right. So now whenever plugin activates, this callback will be run, and whatever code is residing in this callback, will be run, and our stuff will be performing actions. So let's say if we have to create any database tables, so obviously we will not be creating database tables each time. So we can simply run our database creation code here in this function, or we have to perform any further checks, we can do here. So here in this particular fashion, we can do whatever we want to do in this particular function. All right. So whenever our plugin will be activated, our activation callback will be run, and we can perform our functionality, whatever we want to do. In very same fashion, we have to also, I would say, we have to also bind our deactivation hook, because it works in the very same fashion like our activation hook. So we can simply call it like this, and also it is present in our very same file, and we can call back to its, we can provide its name like, this is our callback name. So that's all right. So what we have to do in the deactivation, it depends, like if we want to delete our data, because mostly we don't do that upon the plugin deactivation, right? Because whenever user deactivates a plugin, and if we perform deletion and user thinks like to, okay, there may be a mistake or they want to reuse the plugin and they activate, but they are expecting their data will be present. But if we have deleted everything, they are you know facing some sort of issues and they will not be happy at all. But most of the time, we simply flush our rewrite rules here again. All right. So any changes made in the plugin activation and deactivation, we are simply flushing our rewrite rules. All right. So by just doing these very basic functionalities, we are very much safe. And whenever our plugin activates or deactivates, we will not be facing any of the 404 errors. Right, I think that was something which we didn't done in our earlier stages, as I we had to actually show you these errors with the 404 error like we did in that particular time. But now as we are proceeding with the completion of our series, so I think it's best way to add these things, and we can make our plugin final and production ready. All right, so today we have covered our activation and deactivation hooks, and with the information which we can perform. For more details, I will be providing you our written guide link in the description so you guys can check. And in the next series, next videos of this tutorial, we will be starting our settings page creation to make our plugin dynamic. So we can learn how to provide our options or settings so users can simply make changes to our plugin or customize our plugin without writing their code. So we can just give them like copy paste ready or just a settings based thing, so they have to just play with the interface and rest of the things are handled from our side. All right, in the meantime, if you have any questions or queries, don't hesitate to ping me back through the comments channel. I will be trying my best to reply to each and every comment. Until then, have a nice time. See you in the next video. Bye bye.